There we go. Oh yeah, buddy. There's a
I
lot to
also
unload.
started following. Oh, we're live now. Hey, hi, everybody. Sean and Brad. Good to see you. Happy Monday. Hope your Monday's been better than most Mondays. So I think I can say today's better because of now. So we're good with that. Sean, my friend, how
Hey,
are you?
I'm good, man. Happy Monday. It's a very happy Monday for me, as you obviously know. Yeah.
That because you can wear a pop in your shirt.
Mhm. I did want to say, okay, so it's Veterans Day this Wednesday for the Americans, and for the Canadians, it's Remembrance Day, and in England, it's Armistice Day. Um, so America, you're like, so Veterans Day is like when you can say thanks to the veterans, right? And Memorial Day is when you remember the fallen.
Correct.
Where in Canada, Remembrance Day, because it came on the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month, back in 1918 when they signed the armistice there in World War One.
Yeah.
So this is the day that we remember everybody, the dead, the fallen, plus all the wars, all combined into one. So yeah, so that's why we wear the poppy. The British wear the poppy. I even know in America you guys recognize the poppy. You guys,
Right.
I don't think you guys wear it though, eh?
I
It's like
remember it feels like we used to more when I was younger. I remember it being a thing. I think there was people that would hand them out even like at grocery stores and at school, but less of that now. So
yeah. I mean, it's funny,
not
right?
like
It's like
Marshall.
I always spend about $4 to $5 per poppy, right? Because it's always going to the Legion. It's a
Yeah.
good thing, right?
Yeah, I think the American Legion put it on here. I don't know what the state of the American Legion is, at least locally.
Yeah.
Here. So
Now, being in the military, though, they God love the Legion. They make it usually pretty cheap, so like this little pin goes in and then it blows away, right? It always blows away. So
yeah,
finally, I got something to stick it in there and keep it on. So, and I got no problems paying like the 3, 4, 5 bucks a poppy. That's not the problem. But when they're blowing away like two in a day,
yeah.
it's like, okay, listen, got to get me a poppy that's gonna stay on for a little
The
bit.
cost of a Timmy's. You're taking away one of my Timmy's.
you know this is going to be interesting this year. It's with the COVID environment and everything, where everything's going to be done virtually. So uh
Yeah, I know. At my work, Veterans Day is a big deal, as it should be. Normally, we host a veteran celebration, um, in honor of the people that are veterans that are at my work, and we bring in, those things. And they put together a virtual show. It's been pre-recorded. Um, so, but at least I'm glad that it didn't stop. Right.
yeah,
A lot of
yeah,
holidays we've stopped. We haven't done them virtually. We just have, taken them for what they are. But this one, we're making sure that we hold it for it. So
yeah. No,
shout
I'm
out.
happy about that. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And like for me too, it's kind of a different sort of day because yeah, I am acting service, but at the same hand, it's like you know the sacrifice of those that came before me is the ability for me to even serve, in a nation
But
that's
yeah, it becomes
free.
standing on the shoulders of giants, right?
Yeah,
Like it at some point. So anyway.
yeah, yeah. So listen, I wanted to mention all that, but
Well,
Brad,
anyway, for everyone, if you've served, thank you for your service, Sean. Thank you for your
very
service
much. Thank you.
worldwide. Like, just know that our family loves and appreciates you. Growing up in a military base, a lot of military influences. So we have a lot of respect and love for military members and their families, right? It's very important
Yeah.
to us to recognize the families as well. And so I didn't want to speed past that. So anyway,
No, you know
thank
what?
you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. And now we can start talking shit to each other because
Sounds great. Sounds great. I did. Yeah. Thanks again. Uh, yeah, Brad. So it looks like I was right with the score. I said it was
hold on,
going to
let
be
me
top.
just real quick. I'll let you have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Are you kidding me? This guy. Listen. Listen, I called the score. I said it was going to be high. I said it was going to be around a touchdown. I said it'd be in the 40s and the 30s. So 44-34, not too bad. It just wasn't the way that even I was thinking. And I remember I was just listening. I was listening to the show. And I remember you saying how inaccurate Josh Allen was. And if I pull up the stats, I think he was 31 for 38.
Yeah. What was
That's
Russell
pretty
Wilson?
accurate.
What was Russell Wilson?
Oh no, he was like above 50%. He was 25. Yeah, it wasn't great.
How embarrassing it is if he's 50%, but still threw for 391.
Oh, geez, is that what we're going by these days?
Maybe. I don't know where we're going. You started it.
Is that what we're going by?
I wasn't going to bring stats into it all. I have a very.
That's what we're going by these days.
I have a Russell Wilson theory that I like to broach.
Yeah. You know what? I do want to hear this. Yeah. I want. All right. You want to hear the?
Yep.
Let me see here. Russell Wilson, 28 for 41, 390 yards.
Wait, 28 for 41?
Yeah. 2 interceptions.
That's 50%? Is that
that's over 50%. I said
is that the metric system that's 50%?
Oh wow. I said it's over 50%. I said that. You know, but then let's have a look at
that's 68%, Sean.
Yeah, let's have a look here. 68%. That's fantastic. So you could do math real well. Let's have a look.
You can't not turn the ball over.
Let's have a look here. 31 for 38, 415 yards, 3 touchdowns, and look at that, 0 interceptions for Mr. Josh Allen.
Well, he's so inaccurate.
Unbelievable.
You can't even hit. That's 81.5%. Yeah, I mean he couldn't hit a blue
because you have your
jersey,
calculator right there. This guy with his calculator.
Yeah. It's called a cell phone. Everyone has a computer in their pocket. I don't know if it was big in your day, when you guys count on a abacus. I remember being in high school and the teacher being like, "You have to do this because you'll never have a calculator in your pocket."
I remember those days.
That's what. Calculator in my pocket.
There you go. Look how smart you are.
Show your own work, lady.
That's it. Well, anyways, though, man, I should have made the clips of everything you had there on Messenger, where you had Josh Allen looking a little bit, like a ballerina coming into the end zone there.
He does. Listen, I didn't even look for that. All I typed in was Josh Allen. That was the first thing that showed up.
That was the first thing that came up as Josh Allen.
I was like, oh, I didn't even want this, but here we go. This is gold.
Man, and then it just morphed into something else there with Seinfeld and the whole entire thing there.
Listen, Reed has to defend his own memes. That's not me.
Well, he's having a terrible year of it, I think. There,
I didn't call him Mary. I just said he was inaccurate. I still don't believe I don't believe that I'm wrong. But
the way I look at it is that most football players usually, in order to get that dexterity, they do practice other things like mixed martial arts or ballet. Some of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually the receivers. Why. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I feel. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want this to be about Josh Allen. This is more about Ken Norton's inaptitude. This is more about a defense that's on a historic pace to not only. They're just on they're so horrible, right? That they're going to break records that no two teams, that the same team doesn't hold.
Right.
What is yards given up and yards per game, and on average, they're going to own both those things.
Well, here's the thing: is that we already know the Buffalo's defense isn't the greatest, right? It's a little bit porous.
Well, but they still did rushing wise. Buffalo couldn't rush for shit.
No,
we had 7 sacks and still gave up all those yards, and it's only 38 pass attempts.
But look at all the sacks that Buffalo ended up getting on Russell Wilson.
Yes, he had 16. He had 16 hits, right? 16 knockdowns, which is a lot of sacks. What I'm saying is the Seattle's defense was so terrible. They had 7 sacks, couldn't force a turnover. I don't know how my math really fully works, right? But I'm pretty sure that 38 minus 31 is 7.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yes.
So either Josh Allen completed the ball or got sacked.
Right. But the thing is, here's what it comes down to. We were saying that he was inaccurate.
I would argue it's probably never happened.
Saying it's inaccurate. So his grandmother died too, right? Like the night before.
Listen, I don't want this to be about Josh Allen.
It was a great performance.
It was.
You can't just gloss that over. He's having a similar season. I mean, he's not in the same
even
numbers
broken
as
clocks
Russell
are right
Wilson.
twice a day. Trash cans get steak sometimes.
Wow.
Jay-Z says, like, there's things about it.
This guy.
Why are you going to make me talk trash about Josh Allen when his grandma?
I don't know why you are. I would think by now, so everybody's allowed.
He played well. He played well enough to win.
He's played well at least 4 to 5 games now.
Yes. Listen,
yes.
And that's great. And like, you can, like, let's talk about this. Let's table this conversation for the playoffs or when it gets cold out. Ty Detmer could win games in September.
It's November. What are you talking about?
November. It's the first week of November.
It's the middle of November.
It's halfway through the season. I understand you're excited.
We're inching closer towards your Thanksgiving. I mean, this is at the halfway point.
Yes,
when do you start throwing this man a bone?
Oh, 3 years from now? Like, no, you don't erase the last couple of years with one good half a year. Like, that's not how it works.
Oh man, I don't know. Right now, I got the bragging rights on this one. Right now, I'm very happy about it.
I don't disagree with you, but listen, by your logic, right? By your logic, Tom Brady is a horrible quarterback.
Whoa! What are you trying to say? By my logic,
half a season hasn't done very well.
He's, you know what?
Almost got zeroed last night.
He almost did.
They broke a record. They broke a record that stood for how many years?
For who?
They had 6 rushing attempts, Sean.
That's crazy.
6.
That's crazy. Yeah.
6 rushing attempts.
Well.
Anyway, here's my Russell Wilson theory. You ready?
Yeah, I wanted to hear this. That's right.
On weeks where Russell Wilson has a strong media presence, 0-3 this year with a lot of turnovers.
You mean strong media presence like
his wife's birthday?
Yeah.
Played like shit in Arizona. Thanks Halloween, played like shit against the 49ers.
Yeah, but you won against the 49ers.
Still played like shit.
Yeah.
This week he announces his foundation. And listen, Russell, all these things are great. They're all great. But going back last year when Russell Wilson was all over Facebook and Instagram and Twitter for his wife's birthday, worst game of his season. He has 7 interceptions against 2 teams, Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals. And both of those were in heavy social media usage weeks, which is outside of his norm.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I blame Sierra. I'm on 100% the blame Sierra train. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Well, it also sounds like the past 3 weeks he hasn't been exactly Russell Wilson-esque.
But it was that way last year too. Like there's just a pattern.
Yeah.
Like every time he's super active on social media, he plays like shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, his defense isn't doing him any favors either. You know, like he's been the whole reason.
But I don't disagree. If your team scores 34 points, that should be enough to win, right? That should be enough to win.
You would
think. But listen, 14-point swing on one Russell Wilson play.
Yep.
4th and 1 from the 5, right? You've got Travis Homer on the 2. You throw him wide open, no one around him. You throw a dart. Instead, you lob the ball in. It gets intercepted, and they go down and score. 14-point swing. What was the final score of the game? How many points did you win by?
Yeah, 10. 10 points.
DK Metcalf, one of the greatest plays we've ever seen.
8.
Right now, Buda Baker. Started by what? An ill-advised lob throw in the end zone by Russell Wilson when he had no business throwing the ball.
So, I mean,
it's uncharacteristic, right?
I know.
The loss was you can't expect your quarterback to play perfectly every week. You cannot.
No, you can't. You can't. Absolutely not. But you've been slagging Josh Allen like so
4 turnovers a game.
You've been slagging.
How nervous were you? So here's what happened, right? I'm sitting in my house. My brother is here.
Oh, dude, we're playing the Seahawks. Of course, I'm nervous the whole entire game. I know what Russell Wilson
8 minutes left, down 17.
Yeah.
Right?
No, of course not. You're not sitting there easy. You're not sitting there going, "We got this in the bag."
In the next minute,
yeah,
we have a shot here, right?
Yeah.
Very next play is that shot to David Moore in the end zone to draw within the score.
You know,
here we are, and then what happens?
You were never,
defense,
even with a 10-point
job,
lead,
stiffens up a little bit, right? And then Russell gives the damn ball over on the 20 on a fumble on a strip sack.
Listen, even with a 10-point lead, 17-point lead, whatever, if you got anything like 6 minutes on the board against Russell Wilson, you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable. So no, I wasn't comfortable going into the fourth quarter.
Well, it was
but I'd rather be playing with the
quiet
lead.
In the text, folks, by the way, real quiet in the text.
What's that?
Sean sent a nasty text to me at halftime that I then said his kicker sucked. That's all I had.
What did I say to you? What are you talking about?
And then nothing else until the end. That's how nervous Sean was.
Well, that's how nervous I was. That's exactly it. I just know I wasn't going to jinx it. I felt so bad when I sent that out at halftime saying, "Oh, we're putting a pounding on you," and I felt like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said anything, man. Shouldn't have said a word. Shouldn't have said a word."
Did I ever tell you? I was at the at Beastquake.
That's right. You know what? Every other show, I think you bring that in there.
Deal for me. It was a big deal for me.
It's a big deal for most. If I was a sports fan there live, that's awesome. Yeah.
And
come on, smile about it at least, Brad. I mean, that's a big deal. It is.
It was a fun deal. But what I was going to say is, that game was kind of back and forth, and the Saints were up. That was like the turning point of the game.
That's momentum.
And I was sitting next to these
Tangible
Saints fans.
Momentum.
She was a Seahawks fan. He was a Saints fan. They had driven from like Idaho to watch the game.
Yeah.
And so we're having a friendly, good-natured conversation in the stands. And that happened. And it was like we were down, to the end there, And I looked at him and I go, hey, man, you feel comfortable? And he was like, no.
It's so impossible to feel comfortable when you're playing the Seahawks. It just is. Yeah. Unless you got, and even 20 points, I don't feel comfortable.
It's why my blood pressure sucks. Listen, that first, like, as terrible as that first half was, like, not happy, right? Because it was terrible, but like concerned that we're going to lose. Yeah. I felt like Reed for once, right? And I was like, all this, like, we'll be fine. Here we are.
Listen, I mean, I'm glad that Buffalo won. Now, I don't know what that means going down the road. Maybe it's a momentum builder. Maybe it was just a game. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the hard thing, right? In regular season is like anytime that it's interdivisional. I had this conversation yesterday with somebody like, "Oh, we really want to play Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh," and I was like, "Why? Why do you care if Pittsburgh wins?" They go, "It's better for us." I go, "No." It matters zero if Pittsburgh wins. Like yesterday's game is as good as it would be to hail the standings because, by the way, the AFC East also showed up yesterday. Shout out to
I know. Dolphins. The Dolphins. The Dolphins look great. Tua looked great.
But Seriously. It doesn't matter. Like in the grand scheme of things, right? Those like it's not divisional games.
It does matter.
Conference games. Well,
it does matter for that quarterback. That young quarterback is getting that sort of feeling of like that fourth quarter comeback. This is like the starting of the DNA.
What I mean by it doesn't matter in the standings.
Yeah.
It 100% matters. It 100% matters for Josh Allen's character and his confidence. I think it's detrimental to your running game because that defense gets gashed and you couldn't put any yards up.
No,
but that would seem to be the game plan. The game plan seemed to be to throw the ball. Sean McDermott decided we're going to throw the shit out of this ball.
I guess, because I was actually very shocked at the rushing totals as well.
Yeah.
But I guess he must have had a talk with Josh or something like that.
Oh, man, listen. Pete Carroll said that they came in because the week before, they played Baltimore the week before. Is that right?
Yeah.
And ran the ball.
Who played Baltimore?
Plus times?
Who played Baltimore the week before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
who did?
Sean McDermott, the Bills did. Right?
No, they played the Patriots the week before.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Right. I was thinking I thought it was an elite AFC team, but it wasn't. It was Patriots.
Yeah.
But still, so they ran the ball 40 plus times against Bill Belichick's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll said after the game, they watched that tape. They thought that the same thing was going to happen because they had so much success. But and it's not that like they couldn't adapt. Like the Seahawks
Right.
don't have an answer for a passing game right now.
Listen, I think Sean McDermott's the greatest thing that happened to the Buffalo Bills. And at first, that first season, I didn't know what to think because he was
Even
trading
more than
away.
Jim Kelly.
Well, come on. I'm talking about head coaches. He's
Oh,
still not a
you
Marv
don't mean
Levy.
Marv Levy?
He's no. I
Shit
don't
on
think
Marv Levy like that?
no. Marv Levy's still up here, my friend. I'm just saying that Sean McDermott.
Listen, I was
going
clarifying
up.
because you said
No.
I'm edgy
You're
because
putting
my
words into
team
my
won.
mouth now. Yeah,
No,
you're putting
you
words into my
said
mouth.
Sean McDermott is the greatest thing to happen to the Buffalo Bills
In the last 10 years.
That's not what's that's
well, that's my caveat on it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll accept it. I'll even stop.
I love it. You're calling me on these things. It's like, yep. Oh, darn it.
You've got to put it all away. Like, listen, I'm sensitive today.
Yeah. Though, a caveat on it is that he has to be. And like, I remember when he got rid of Sammy Watkins. I remember when he got rid of a lot of wide receivers there.
Yeah.
And went with Nate Peterman. We were all there going, what is going on with this team, right? And we were thanking Andy Dalton for beating the Baltimore Ravens and Joe Flacco to get us into that first postseason, right? So like after so long. But then we took a step back.
Andy Dalton as a thank you.
I know. And then we took a step back, didn't make it. And then now we've been making it. And now
Didn't
they
you donate a bunch of money to like Buffalo Wild Wings or some horse shit in Andy Dalton's name? Isn't that what happened? You remember that?
They sent him.
There was something.
Yeah,
there was something.
Bill's Mafia sent him something. I don't know, donation.
They sent him a lot.
I think it was a donation to his favorite charity or something like that.
Yeah, but it was something that had to do with Buffalo Wild Wings. I feel.
Yeah, which is
Wild
really
Wings
cool
in general. Something. Yeah, no, it was cool. They for sure donated to his charity. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Did you follow the UFC this weekend at all?
So I didn't follow it as much as I wanted to. I watched the Arlovsky fight.
Yeah.
Here's why. Here's what happened. Is that also that Notre Dame Clemson game was on. So here's what my plan was. But
I don't think Trevor Lawrence was playing, was he?
It was not, but it's still number 1 versus number 4, and I usually watch top 5 matchups.
Right.
So I got stuck watching that game. And then my plan was to watch that game, click over to UFC, watch those fights, and then come back for SNL because Dave Chappelle is my favorite comedian ever. I love stand-up comedy, period. Dave Chappelle to me is the best.
Chappelle is, he is the echelon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so being, and you would love this too. You'll probably go buy this. Is he had a sweatshirt made? He's been rocking his own gear with his little Chappelle patch on the thing.
Yeah.
So he's got this sweatshirt, Chappelle patch here, SNL patch here, right here. I believe it was YNOH and then the zip code for Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah.
That's where he's living at, right?
That's where he's living now. That's right. That's
his dad lived there. He grew up, he lived with his mom in DC and would go there. I just learned this on the Letterman interview that's currently on Netflix. But that was on right, at the same time frame. So this Clemson Notre Dame game goes into like 3 or 4 overtimes. And then which was a great way to end it. Because college overtime, massively better than NFL overtime.
Yeah.
You understand? Do you know how it works? I'm assuming you follow college football enough.
I haven't seen too many tiebreakers, so just refresh my memory.
The offense gets the ball in the 25, 1st and 10. Right? Okay. So you either have to go 25 yards and score a touchdown, or you kick a field goal, and then the other team gets the same thing.
I do remember this, yes.
Hey, Coco. Hey, can you get out real quick? Thanks. Sorry, we're having a little YouTube conversation here. Hey, you want to say hi to Sean? Or you want to say see you later? You can't have your iPad on in here while I'm in here. Oh, okay. You just want to say hi to Sean?
Hi, John.
Hi, Coco.
What do you think? Hey, Kobe, what do you think about college overtime? Do you think it's great? No? Do you think NFL overtime is better? You do? Hey, Kobe, do you know who the Buffalo Bills are?
Yeah.
You do? Who's your favorite football team?
Dad.
Yeah. Who's your favorite football team then? Is it the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah.
is it the Seahawks? How do you chant for them? Do you know?
C.
Hawks.
C.
See?
Hawks.
See?
Sean, the proper response when she yells C, you're supposed to say Hawks. Are you gonna
I can't right now. I'm
you
still
just can't-
happy
You're
about
not. You're gonna
my
deny
victory.
this 4-year-old face.
All right, let her do it. I'll do it.
Okay, say it one more time.
See?
Hawks.
See?
Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Coco. Love you, girl.
Special guest, Coco.
Special guest. Anyway, so back to our regular scheduled program. So they start 25, first and 10 on 25, right? You go score
Yep.
a touchdown, kick a field goal, or don't score. Sometimes that's happened. And then the other team, same thing, right? And then I think it's after the second. I should know this better. It's after the second time through. If you're still tied, they force you to go for 2 and no more field goals. And it's first team to win wins, right? So like, it's cool because it's always like you can score on it. Like Clemson comes out first and 10 from the 25. They throw like a deep slant yard, and the guy takes it to the house. Play one, and they're off, and then and then they alternate possession. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Man, it's fun. So that ran long, right? It ends up going like 30 minutes long. So I click over enough. I caught the Orlovsky fight, which I thought was a bit of a snoozer. I thought it was both guys respected the other guy's power.
Right.
Orlovsky was too smart to get knocked out and didn't want to wait in their fight, which was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
And then Dave was live on SNL, and so I clicked over to watch the monologue. Which, if you haven't, go watch that monologue. It's
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's watch the monologue and then watch the first sketch. The rest of it you can skip through it. Those two things should get you home. And then by the time it just kind of was I watch SNL, which I don't do often, but
So I got to be honest with you because that Saturday I went out shooting with my buddy Ben. So in Canada we can shoot rifles at the range, right? So
you just have to transport them in a special way.
We got to lock them up and everything. Yeah.
On the drive.
Yeah.
They have to ride in a separate compartment than you.
No, it's not that crazy. It's not easy accessibility, but it was like one of those.
You have ammunition and rifles in the same.
You can. Yeah. It was one of those times where, even my buddy was saying, this is one of those times. Ben was telling me this because this is one of those times you had an active shooter. You don't feel too worried. We had 5 or 6 different rifles and.
Except for the time it would take you to get the lockout while you're.
Well, yeah. But anyway, so we get out there, we're shooting and having a good time, and I was going to take videos, and I totally forgot to take videos of us shooting there. So that kind of sucked. But so we spent the day doing that, and then I went to a poker game afterwards. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch the fight either. So I was hoping you did and would be able to fill us in.
I would say skip the Orlovsky fight. I'm gonna go back and watch.
Teixeira got submitted. Looks like.
Yep.
Glover Teixeira. So.
Yep. But I heard it was a brawl. So might be worth going back to check it out.
Well, round 3, right? That looks like a good fight.
Yep. I can pull it up on ESPN Plus. I'm definitely gonna watch it this week. It's on my list of things to do. I just didn't catch it live.
Yeah, I feel bad about it too because I didn't. Yeah, I just sometimes you have to have a life, I guess.
do we want to talk quickly about the snoozer game tonight?
So, I mean, it's a game that has to happen, and it could potentially be really good for New England, I think, to get back on the winning track after so many losses.
You think so? Oh, you think this gets him off the schneid?
I think so. I think Cam needs something. Cause I don't think Cam. It's a whole new scheme. It's all that, and man, I just don't know. I don't know what to think.
I just don't know.
I don't know what to think here. I think they beat the Jets. I do.
by
I
a
do think they
lot.
beat the Jets.
By a lot. And I think they're both
Yeah.
crappy teams. And maybe it ends up being that like that Tampa Bay Giants game was their night, right? Like where it's entertaining. That's
Where
what
it's
I hope.
entertaining. Yeah.
I hope it's
Yeah.
entertaining football.
Yeah.
Like on a scale of like CFL to good, like I hope it's on the good scale.
Well, like, here's the thing, man. It doesn't matter. You could have two crappy teams playing in the NFL, and I'll still probably watch that over a CFL game unless it's a Grey Cup. Grey Cup, I'm going to watch a Grey Cup.
So okay. Let's ask this real quick.
Okay.
Because we didn't get a little one-on-one. Let's just ask this real quick one-on-one.
All right.
You can make up for it. This is on the fly, so it might be a little choppy. If there was a good NFL matchup, like let's say it's Bills Seahawks, but it's also Grey Cup weekend.
Well, Grey Cup's on the back burner. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll flip over to see what the score is.
Like during the commercials.
Yeah,
But you won't linger though, right? Like you'll be back over, so you don't miss any action.
Yeah, because like if it's a game I just don't care, then yeah, I'm gonna go watch the CFL. Right?
So let's take your teams out of it. Two of your favorite teams. Let's take those two out of it. Let's say it's Baltimore, Pittsburgh, which is always a good game.
I'll watch the Grey Cup. Yeah, because there's nothing interesting for me in the Pittsburgh.
Except someone might die.
Yeah, but like
you might see the first on-field death.
Nah, I'm watching the Grey Cup.
Oh.
Could watch the ball get popped out and then
feels a bit
skip all the way into the end zone.
Feels a bit sus there, Sean. They're like, you know what sus means, Dad? I'm like, suspect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. How did you know?
How'd you know?
I've been talking for the better part of 39 years, so I feel like I've got a good grasp on the English language. It's not the Queen's English, but it's gets me by.
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things I can just hear it. I can hear it the way you talk. There's no you in your color. There's no you in flavor.
There shouldn't be you in color. There shouldn't be a you in color anyway, Sean.
There is.
No one sees color. No one sees color.
It's the Queen.
I know. It drives me crazy. Look at you in favorite. You're like,
you just went smack out of the park.
Narcissistic.
All right, tell me. All right, my one-on-one question to you is this. So I just heard a rumor today from Tim and Sid, which is a sports talk show. Tim McAuliffe, Sid Sixero on The Score, and they were just talking about the Blue Jays being shoppers and might be looking at either Jackie Bradley Jr. or George Springer to join the team. Thoughts?
I think Jackie Bradley Jr. fits your motto. I think George Springer is a cheater and should never play baseball again.
So you'd hate him still in the Jays too.
I would hate him. I hate him anyway.
Yeah. Do you know that?
You know how Ryan said on our last episode 15, out now, all places podcast. Like that plug shot, was that good? Ryan said he doesn't like watch other teams, so he doesn't know like his players' characters when they come on.
Yeah,
his team. I wish that I could feel like that sometimes, but I can't. And I think if the Mariners sign an Astros player, I'm just gonna always feel gross about it.
A little gross about it. It's one of those players you love to hate.
Yeah,
it's funny because
no,
go ahead.
It's even like seeing Joey Cora get his job back, or Alex Cora getting his job back. Sorry, Joey Cora is a great Mariners player, not a dirty cheater like Joey Cora.
Like Alex
Cora. God dang it, I can't get it right. But like watching Alex Cora get his job back after a year just feels gross, So
yeah,
whatever.
Antonio Brown's playing, so
I know, and I watched Greg Hardy fight the other day, and I just thought, am I supporting the right things in life? But I saw two ways that this is how I make myself feel better. Is I Google why didn't Altuve want his jersey ripped off when he hit the game-winning hit, and then I see that horse shit, and I'm like, oh, I know, oh, okay, I'm fine. You hear that story?
I think you were mentioning it briefly there, but I really didn't. Yeah.
You don't know that story?
No, go for it.
So he rounds third base, and as he's coming home, his teammates are all mobbing him, and like it's tradition that if you get a walk off, and it's to close the series out, like you're gonna lose your shirt. Like everyone knows that. And as he's rounding, he's like this. He's like, no, so cold, no. And everyone's like, what the? So don't tear his jersey off. And then so like all this stuff comes out, and everyone's like, oh, well, that guy had a sensor taped on his chest. Like that's why he didn't want right? That's the accusation. That's the accusation. And you want to know what he said?
What's that? The
He said,
tattoo?
no, I have a really poorly done tattoo, and my wife doesn't like me to show it.
Oh, come on.
Trouble. Not, I want to save this jersey. Not this jersey matters to me. I want to frame it, right? Not any of those things. I have and then they show a picture of the tattoo, and it's like, all right, bro.
I don't remember. I don't remember Joe Clark getting his jersey ripped off of him when he hit the game winner in '93.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still,
I wouldn't rip it off of Joe Clark either. He's a large man. Altuve, you feel like you can just put him in your back pocket and walk around.
Did I say Joe Clark? I meant Joe Carter. No,
I know who you meant.
Yeah, I just mentioned a prime minister of Canada from the 1980s, and you didn't correct me right away.
Well, yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit shaky on my prime minister history. How many prime ministers has there been in Canada?
Are you asking me this? Oh my gosh! Oh no! Oh, let me tell you right now. Oh no!
This on the citizenship test? Like, should you know?
I don't have to do a citizenship test.
So in Canada, every year you had to go take to get an ID card so you could have free healthcare. You had to take a citizenship test. Is that not true? That's the rumor.
Oh my gosh! Oh, what were you just saying? You just said that way too quick. Oh my gosh! What did you just say?
How many prime ministers have there been in Canada?
23.
Oh,
yeah, 23. Holy crap! It's actually very look. I'm looking at it. What in the world?
You want to know what? This is how terrible I am, and I apologize to all our Canadian friends, including my wife and her family, and to you, Sean, for about to say this. But when you said that, the first thing I thought of was that's exactly half of the amount of the American presidents we've had.
Yes,
and that's the most little brother shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, well, we could do longer than 4 years here, or 8 years, right? There's longer than 2 terms.
Well, you can here if you're smart.
Well, no, you can't. You can't do it like, okay, so Jean Chrétien.
You listen, like the last president, it's been quite a while since we've had a president not go to a second term.
There's only 2.
George Bush.
Yeah.
Anyway,
George Bush Sr. and Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So listen to this.
Hold on. I love how you know the American history, but we're Googling the Canadian history.
That's because I'm actually very shocked. There's only 23 prime ministers. Wow, it's shocking.
I'm shocked you knew it was Senior and Trump were the only 2. Like I didn't know, but
no. Well, okay. So you have Pierre Elliott Trudeau. So his first run was
Could you say it and not say it through gravel? What's his name?
Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
Yeah, still English, please.
Pierre Trudeau.
Okay.
Justin Trudeau's father.
Oh,
so
is that like Bush Senior and Junior?
Yeah, basically. So he was prime minister from 1968 to 1979. Then he lost, and he came back. He was prime minister again from 1980 to 1984.
Oh man, is that like getting divorced and then like you get remarried again?
Well, what happened was I think they voted in Joe Clark, and Joe Clark lasted that one term. That was it. And then Jean Chrétien was prime minister from 1993 to 2003. So yeah, you're having 20 years in between. I guess like it's all good.
Yeah, seems legit.
Yeah. 23 prime ministers. I was shocked at that one. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, America, because you guys shove it down everybody's throats. 45th president. Now we're going to 46th president.
Don't let me into that. I'm sorry. I thought this weekend that it was such a waste that 45 was Donald Trump and not Barack Obama because Jay-Z has so many great 45 lines because of Michael Jordan winning 45.
Right.
I feel like Obama should have been the 45th president.
But he was the 44th.
Yeah. Cold 44.
Yeah.
2 terms.
Yeah.
What do you say? Oh, who knows,
I don't
right?
know.
I mean, I guess it's just president-elect so far, not president. So we'll see how it
Oh,
goes.
I mean, come on. All the news media's already walked off. Like they've already walked beyond it. You don't even hear the Republicans saying anything anymore. So it's like I think it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's been pretty
And
funny. It's pretty stark to see it.
And when the
Did you
Washington
see? Listen,
Nationals,
listen.
yeah,
Did you see? Did you see the press conference that the Trump administration had on Saturday, by chance?
on Saturday, no, I didn't.
Okay, I
What,
need you to go look at it, and we can talk about it Saturday.
what was he saying? Crazy
You're
stuff?
not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me if I tell you where it was.
Who was Trump?
Where they held it at.
You're right. I'm not going to believe you.
Okay, listen.
Tell me.
They had it. They had it at Four Seasons Lawn Care Service.
What?
It's in an alley.
What?
It's not the Four Seasons Hotel. It appears that Giuliani reserved the space at Four Seasons Lawn Care, thinking it was the Four Seasons Hotel.
No.
Might be bullshit. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I don't know. Oh my.
Talk more about it Saturday. Folks, episode
Listen.
16 comes Saturday. It's going to be a fantastic time. I tell you, Sean and I have not talked for a week. I miss your face. I miss your laugh. I'm sorry I'm grouchy. I'll be less grouchy on Saturday. Also coming back Saturday is my affection for beer. So come back for that. And, see what jersey Sean's wearing because it's one of his 4 favorite teams. I'm sure will make an appearance.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Hey, listen, everybody, come Remembrance Day, listen, or Veterans Day, say thank you to a veteran, take a minute of silence at 11 o'clock and, just remember what was paid for this freedoms that we have now. And thank you so much for listening and the support. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your Monday there and enjoy the game. It's going to be coming up here soon.
Peace out, folks.